Hey guys, and welcome to Comics and Chill, and today I've got another one of my March of Robots drawings for you, and I'll be drawing the Dragonzord from the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. Now for the first 15 episodes or so of the Power Rangers, the show was already great, but then around episode 16 they did a 5-episode storyline which introduced the Green Ranger and the Dragonzord. And if there's one thing I loved as a kid in my cartoons, it was an evil version of the heroes, which, the Green Ranger was. I just thought it was totally badass. Tommy had a weird half mullet, he wore green netted vests, and he smashed putties with his crotch. What's not to love? And after drawing the Megazord, it just felt like a natural progression to do the Dragonzord. So let's dig into this. So just like the Megazord drawing, I start off with a really rough ballpoint pen sketch. I had to do 2 versions of this. For this one, I wasn't quite certain what sort of pose I'd be going with or what sort of environment. And after looking over some old footage of the Dragonzord, he emerges in like a sort of harbour or bay type area. So I decided to drop him in there. And once I've got the sketch down, it's just time to, do a digital sketch on top of that. Trying to work out a few more details of the Dragonzord. And also further tighten up the composition. As you can see here, I'm doing quite a bit of resizing. As you can see, the colour I've blocked in is way different to the final piece. And after I finished the line work, I really struggled with the colours on this one. So then I jump into doing the digital pencils, and it's still very rough, but here I am making sure I get every detail that I want to be in the final image included in some form. And then I begin tightening that up and really trying to put in the final line work with the inking process. I was using a lot of reference images of the Dragonzord toys and statues I could find online to help me remember all these details. When I was a kid, I could probably draw this from memory. I don't think it would look as good, but I'd remember all the details. And I found finishing up the lines on the Dragonzord a lot trickier because there's a lot more curved edges. He's not quite as blocky as the Megazord. And then filling in the tail details, it was very important to, get those sort of cylindrical sections feeling like they've got a bit of volume to help give the image a bit more depth. And then it's time to start blocking in the final color choices. So as I mentioned earlier, I did struggle with the colors on this one. The color scheme for the Dragonzord isn't really in my wheelhouse. There's a lot of dark greens and blacks and golds. But then when I decided to turn the sky green and yellow to sort of bounce some of that color off of the Dragonzord, I think it kind of broke the image open and I was able to sort of nudge it over the finish line. And then here I'm adding the light into the Zord himself. Give that tail a little more depth again. And then here I'm just adding in some glows and gradients to the chest plate to help it pop and give it a bit more volume. And then after fiddling around with the sketch a little bit, I decided to have the freeway sort of motorway bridge in front of the Dragonzord, as I felt it helped improve the scale of the image. It kind of made the composition a little cooler too. And then here I'm just figuring out a bit more build-in detail, bouncing some of the sky colours off the roofs. And last but not least, it is time to add the Green Ranger. And I was referencing some big fancy statue that I found a picture of online. Probably cost a fortune. But the sculpt of that statue had given the Green Ranger some really chunky thighs, so I decided to go with that for a bit of fun. And then of course added in a little dialogue balloon for his fancy flute call that he does to call the Dragonzord. And boom, you're done. So yeah, this piece started off with me not being so sure, and it wasn't until I turned the sky that sort of limey lemon yellow green that I felt that this thing was coming together. If you've seen more of my work, I tend to rely on a lot of like neon colors and hot pinks and turquoises and stuff like that. But I had a lot of fun working on this piece, and who knows, maybe there'll be some more Zords to come. You'll have to tune in to find out. So that's it for today. Like, follow and subscribe if you haven't already. Follow us on social media. You can also check out my Instagram. I have the Instagram for Comics and Chill, but there's also my artist Instagram, which is at Dan Lee Comics, all one word. and I'll be back soon with more comic reviews and robot drawings. Take it easy.